Assalamualaikum. This is Sadali Said, Network and vSphere Administrator and Virtual Instructor of Cisco and VMware Technologies at NanoTechX. Today's second last session, Bootcamp by NanoTechX and with Sadali Said, Network and vSphere Administrator. So today's second last session of this bootcamp means this is session 14. So we are now going to start the session. But before that, let me tell you one thing that today is the last day of my VMware vSphere data center virtualization, server virtualization, private cloud batch 1. So today is the last day of my course as well, which was 6 months course, but we have completed in 3 months. And let me show you about vSphere as well. Today this course is completed. In this course we have conducted 16 interviews from different countries. Like we have conducted interviews from South Africa, South Korea, India, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan. From different companies we have took interviews. And another point is that we have completed this course in 32 sessions and we have recorded 140 lectures in form of notes, as you can see here. Let me show you. And we have trained many students for free of course and uploaded on YouTube as well. And this is very much expensive course. Today this course is completed by us. VMware vSphere Data Center Virtualization, Server Virtualization, Private Cloud Batch 1 finished today. So congratulations to my student of vSphere. You are just my student of this bootcamp, okay? So let me show you how to access that course which is finished today and was started on 25th September. So first you should go to YouTube and you should write here net plus virtual, our company name. After this you should click on this. You should come to playlists and here it is. These are interviews. You conducted 16 interviews for enrollment in this VMware vSphere batch 1. And after enrollments, we have started this course on September 25 and today on 28 December on Wednesday 2022, this course is finished with 32 sessions, each session with average time of 2 hours duration. Let me show you this course as well and these interviews as well, which we have conducted before starting this course. And today this course is lastly finished. So let me show you this course. And yesterday due to internet we were disconnected, so that's why sorry for that. So if due to internet you are going to be disconnected, so I request you that kindly watch the recording of this session if you are disconnected due to internet issue, if it is even on your side or my
तो स्टार्ट
side.
होने वाला है सही है
So
आवाज जरा शोर जरा कम कीजिए
so I request you that whenever there is an issue, so you watch the recording of this networking bootcamp. And as you can see, we have conducted interviews from different countries, students for enrollment in this course. So this was a huge course we have finished today. These are videos we have uploaded, and this was the biggest duration video, 4 hours 46 minutes. And this was my final message recorded before 23 minutes ago because this course is finished today. So let me show you this message as well. This is the message, kindly watch it. Assalamualaikum. This is Sadali Sayed, Network and vSphere Administrator, Virtual Instructor at NanoTechX Karachi and founder of Net Plus Virtual. सो आज हमारा आखिरी दिन है और हमारा कोर्स जो है वी एम वेयर वी स्फीयर डेटा सेंटर वर्चुअलाइजेशन سرور ورچوائزیشن اور پرائیویٹ کلاؤڈ کا بیچ ون آج ختم ہوا جاتا ہے۔ 6 مہینوں کا کورس تھا، ہم نے کمپلیٹ کیا صرف اور صرف 3 مہینوں میں۔ تقریباً 32 کے قریب سیشنز میں کمپلیٹ کیا، 139 لیکچرز بنائے، 600 سلائڈز کا بک کور کیا اور 16 لوگوں کا انٹرویو لیا۔ چلیے اسکرین کی طرف چلتے ہیں اور آپ کو تھوڑا گائیڈ کرتے ہیں، کیونکہ آج آخری دن ہے اور آپ لوگوں سے معافی مانگتا ہوں اگر آپ لوگوں کو ڈسٹرب کیا ہو اس کورس میں اور آپ لوگوں کو کوئی بھی تکلیف ہوئی ہو، کیونکہ آج ہمارا کورس ختم ہو گیا ہے تو بہت ہی میں ایموشنل فیل کر رہا ہوں، کیونکہ یعنی اتنی محنت کی آپ لوگوں کے ساتھ، اتنا ٹائم دیا آپ لوگوں کو، لائیو سیشنز لیے اس طرح انشاءاللہ کچھ کریں گے کہ آپ لوگوں کے لیے بیچ ٹو بھی لانچ کریں۔ First let me load the member, and you know that this video are recorded in Urdu because this page is in Urdu not in English, so that's why. تو چلیے اسکرین کی طرف چلتے ہیں اور آپ کو کچھ دکھاتا ہوں اس سیشن کے حوالے سے جو آج ہم کنڈکٹ کر رہے ہیں نیٹ پلس ورچو کی جانب سے۔ تو ہم آتے ہیں یہاں پر آپ کو دکھا دیتا ہوں، یہ دیکھیے یہ اسائنمنٹس تھے، کچھ کچھ انٹرویوز ہم نے لیے تھے لوگوں سے، یہ کچھ لیکچرز تھے، آپ سب دیکھ سکتے ہیں سارے، یہ کچھ نوٹس ہم نے بنائے تھے، ساری چیزیں یہ دیکھیے، یہ پورا کورس ہم نے آپ کے لیے اپلوڈ کر دیا یوٹیوب پر، آپ دیکھ سکتے ہیں پورا، ہم لائیو سیشنز لیتے تھے۔ So this message was recorded in Urdu because this course was in Urdu not in English, so that's why. تو یہ پورا کورس آپ ایکسیس کر سکتے ہیں اس طرح، یہ ہم نے انٹرویوز لیے تھے، 16 انٹرویوز لیے تھے ہم نے، اور اس طرح اگر آپ یہاں پر دیکھیں تو آج گروپ بھی ہم نے ختم کر دیا کیونکہ کورس ختم ہو گیا ہے۔ یہ گروپ تھا، اس پر ہم لائیو سیشنز یعنی شیئر کرتے تھے، اس کا لنک آ جائے لائیو ہم سے سیکھیں، سارا کچھ ہم شیئر کیا کرتے تھے، نوٹس وغیرہ شیئر کرتے کیا کرتے تھے، یہ ساری چیزیں یہ دیکھیے سارا آپ دیکھ سکتے ہیں۔ تو آخر بس یہ دکھاؤ کہ ویم ویئر وی اسفیئر ڈیٹا سینٹر ورچوائزیشن، سرور ورچوائزیشن، پرائیویٹ کلاؤڈ کا بیچ ون ختم ہو گیا ہے، آج 3 مہینے کا کورس ختم ہو گیا ہے۔ سو آپ لوگوں کو بہت بہت مبارک ہو، کنگریچولیشنس۔ یہ کورس جو ہے 6 مہینے کا ہوتا ہے، لوگ 300-300 ڈالر پہ پڑھاتے ہیں، ہم نے آپ کو فری میں پڑھایا، 3 مہینے میں کمپلیٹ کرایا، اور 25 ستمبر 2022 سنڈے کو اسٹارٹ ہوا تھا اور آج 28 دسمبر 2022 وینسڈے کو ختم ہوا، اور 2022 بھی ختم ہونے جا رہا ہے، تو آپ لوگوں کو Happy New Year in advance, and again congratulations for finishing the VMware vSphere Data Center Virtualization, Server Virtualization, Private Cloud Batch 1. سو اپنا خیال رکھیے، دعاؤں میں یاد رکھیے، اللہ حافظ۔ تو یہ تو میں نے آپ کو دکھایا نا کہ جو میرے پاس لوگ کری پڑا تھا، اگر آپ لوگ سو basically I have shown you my message recorded before 23 minutes, so you can also access this message as well, and you can watch this message which is in Urdu, recorded in Urdu for the vSphere students, because this course is finished today. And you know, this boot camp which is running now, this is today's the second last session, main session 14 or 15 days networking boot camp. After this there would be the last episode of this boot camp, then this group which in which you are, that would be finished. Another point, this bootcamp would be finished, there would be no live sessions in this bootcamp. So if you have any question you can ask in chat box, and let me show you yesterday session little bit, so you would have an idea that yesterday what we have covered. So let me show you yesterday workload here. So this was third last session yesterday, but today is second last session, session 14. Like I will start the, this was yesterday session that you, I have done right just about 5 6 in which another one I have shown you is alerts out. So this was all about yesterday session. Now we are going to start our new session, second last session, session 14 now. So let me open the lab first. I think this is. And today we should continue the lab and I will answer the question which I have raised in the session 12 before yesterday's session. I have raised a question from all of you and you haven't answered correctly. So today I will answer you briefly in form of practical in the endoscopic address and network simulation software. And the question was that these are 8 physical switches, but they are 45, not 8. How? This was the question, and you all answered wrongly. So today I will answer you, and I'm answering after 48 hours because I have raised this question in session 12, and now this is session 14. Means I have created 48 hours suspense to answer this question. So after 48 hours suspense, I'm going to answer you now practically in brief that how these 8 switches are 45, not 8. So I will answer you briefly, and 48 hours suspense is now finished because before 48 hours I've asked the question and told you that I will answer you after some time. So after 48 hours suspense, I'm giving a suspense. I'm giving you answer, and I've didn't answer directly because this was a question for which we should create suspense. So that's why I've created 48 hours suspense, and now I'm going to answer. I haven't answered immediately. So let me show you here in session 12. I've told you that I will answer after some time about this question. The surprise for listen this message first. Question. I think just 35. Now look at the question first. What was my question? Look at this. No, false answer. I have told you that physically they are 8. I accept this, but in reality, how much they are? Correct. First is 8, second is 35, and third is 45. Select these. All participants select any option. A, B, C. Which option is correct? A is not correct. I am giving you answer. But physically they are 8, yes, but in reality they are not 8. Checkbox. Hurry up, okay? So wrong answer. Answer is 45. These are 45 switches. These are 45 switches. But the question is how? How these are 45 switches? This is the question. And tell me, Shan Salim and John Kabuna and Syed Faz, that do you know or can you prove or can you tell me that how they can be 45 switches? Or should I explain? And this surprise will be just kind of unique surprise. Like I will tell you, but tell me that should I explain or how they are 45 switches. So this was a great debate between me and the participants about this scenario in this lab. That how these 8 switches are not 8, they are 45. So no one answered correctly, and I've told you that after 48 hours suspense, I will answer you, and now I'm going to answer you briefly. Okay. So now let's know how these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 switches are not 8; they are 45. Let me give you proof now. Remember, for example, this is switch. So always remember the switch is not one switch. Switch is not one switch. It is physically one switch, but in reality, it is like this one. In every switch intermediate device, there are five switches. So it means that one switch represents five switches, not one switch. Just the look is of one switch, but in reality, this is not one switch. These are five switches. And another point that you can create 1000 plus switches inside one switch, inside one physical switch. It means that by default, by default, I've taken how many switches? 8. So by default, in every switch there are 5 switches. Every switch is just physically one, but it represents 5 switches. So it means that by default, if it is 5 switch, represent just one physical switch, it have 5 switches. So it means 8 fives are 45. Means these are not 8 switches, these are 45 switches. But the main concern is that you can create 1000 plus switches inside one physical switch. So it means that if I will create 1995 switches in these all switches, and already five are created by default. So if one switch represents 1000 switches, so what does it mean? It means that these switches are not 8 switches, these are 8000 switches. But we can create 8000 switches in these 8 switches. But by default these are 45 switches. How? Do you know? Like this. For example, this is switch. So it is just like one switch. Like for example this one. For example this switch. This is one switch. But in reality this is not a one switch. It have five switches. Five switches. One switch name is 1, another switch name is 1002, another switch name is 1003, another switch name is 1004, and another switch name is 1005. Do you know that physically it is always 1, but virtually by default these are 5. And do you know that switch is what? Switch is something we say LAN device, local area network device. Okay, so if switch is LAN device, then if this is virtual switch, mean if this is virtual switch, okay, virtual switch 1. So this is also virtual switch 1002, this is virtual switch 1003, and this is virtual switch 1004, and this is virtual switch 1005. If the switch is LAN device, then virtual switch is what? Virtual LAN device. Remember, if physical switch is LAN device, obviously. Okay, so this virtual switch is what? This is also switch, but this is virtual. So it means that this is virtual LAN device, or we can say virtual LAN stand for local area network. So we can say virtual local area network device to make you more clear. Okay, this is also virtual local area network device, and this is also virtual local area network device. This is also virtual local area network device, and this is also virtual local area network device. What is the short form of virtual local area network? Virtual mean V, okay? Virtual mean V, LAN, LAN. So mean LAN, LAN. So it means VLAN. So this is VLAN 1, this is VLAN 1002, this is VLAN 1003, and this is VLAN 1004, and this is VLAN 1005. And now you have understood the all type of switches architecture 100%. If someone asks you the switch architecture question, you will answer in just a milliseconds because you know the full architecture of switch now. And remember that you have also understood the VLAN topic as well 100%. You also know that what is VLAN. If someone asks you, you can answer quickly. That VLAN means virtual switch. VLAN represent virtual switch, virtual local area network. So you will also understand VLAN topic 100%. So it means that what I have told you, you have learned two topics: the switch full architecture and the VLAN concepts. So what is VLAN? Now look at this. This is VLAN 1. This is VLAN 1002. This is VLAN 1003. This is VLAN 1004. This is VLAN 1005. If we look to these VLANs, like let me draw a line here. Like for example, these VLANs, these four switches mean these four switches. If we talk about this, then what is this? 1002, 3, 4, 5. What is this? These represents token rings. These represents token rings. And token rings is not used nowadays. It was used in old days. So these represent token rings. And by default, there is no port associated with these VLAN. But if we talk about this virtual local area network, this one, then remember the one point I am going to declare here, that all switch ports, or we can say interfaces, are by default associated with VLAN 1. So it means that if switch have, for example, 24 ports, if switch have, for example, 24 ports, so all switch 24 ports are by default, spelling is wrong, are by default associated with VLAN 1, means all switch ports are associated with VLAN 1. So VLAN 1. And you can create VLANs up to how many? Let me tell you. Up to, you can create VLANs up to 4096. But there is restriction that you can create VLAN up to 1024, I think, like this kind of figure. So because after 1024, if you want to create, then that is not allowed due to some issues. What is the issue? I will discuss laterally. So this was a full switch architecture, physical switch architecture. That what is inside that. So let me save it for you. I will share it after the session. Now look at this. Let's do it practically. If I click on this switch, go to C line. Look at this. If I write here enable to go from this mode to privilege execution mode. Okay. So if I write here show VLAN brief. So now look at this. This is the one switch. This is the second switch, third switch, fourth switch. fifth switch. Mean this switch is not one switch. This switch represents five switches, five virtual switches. And switch is LAN device, so these are VLAN devices. Okay, so this why we represent it by VLAN, virtual local area network. So these four represent token links, and by default it have no ports associated, and all ports are associated with this VLAN one. And you can also remove these ports and attach to any other VLAN. And remember that you can create virtual local area networks. I've told you that more than 1000 plus. How? Let me show you. Right here, configure terminal to go from privilege execution mode to global configuration mode. And right here, VLAN, for example, I want to create VLAN 5. Mean I want to give the VLAN ID 5. So I will give this name as well. Like what is the name of VLAN 1? Default. What is the name of 1002 VLAN? This one. This one is the name of 1003 VLAN. This one is the name of 1004 VLAN, and this one is the name of 1005 VLAN. If I write here name HR, so this would be the name of what? This VLAN, which I have created VLAN 5. If I write here do show VLAN brief. Now look at the result. How many switches are there in this one switch? One, two, three, four, five, six, six switches. And what is the name? HR. The VLAN 5 is HR. So I've shown you the proof that how these 8 switches are 45. And let me check this switch as well and tell you there are 5 VLANs by default created in this switch. Look at this, 5 VLANs. If I show you this one, if you have any question you can ask in chat box, okay? And Andre, you raised your hand, so what is the issue? So let me check here, okay? If I write here show VLAN brief, so now look at this. 5 switches. VLAN 1, okay? VLAN 1002, VLAN 1003, VLAN 1004, VLAN 1005. If I show you this switch, so how many VLANs? 5 switches, 5 virtual switches. If I write here same command show VLAN brief, so look at the result, 5 switches. If I show you these switches as well for your confirmation that you should know that how many switches are there in one physical switch. So how I told you that these 8 switches represent 45. So you would have a proof. So that's why I'm showing you each and every switch. That you should get your answer that 8 switches are 45, not 8 switches, okay? 5 switches again in the one switch, and let me show you the last one as well. So I gave you the proof and hope you understood now. And now we are going to take the questions. After this, we are going to end the session. So if you have any question, you can ask here in chat box. I'm waiting for that. After this session, there would be the last session, last episode of this bootcamp. Then this bootcamp would be finished, which is for free to all of you. If this would be paid, then there would be some more features like giving you some extra labs, giving you some extra concepts, etc. So we are giving you just some extent concepts, like we are giving you some concepts, limited concepts means giving you some useful concepts, not all, because this is not just kind of a paid bootcamp or paid course, so that's why. This is a free bootcamp, so that's why we are giving you just limited concepts, limited labs, and limited knowledge. Because this is free and this is networking bootcamp, not like a CCNA kind of stuff. That is course, paid course. So that's why if you have any question you can ask. If you haven't, you can quit the session or you can say clear. So we will end the session. And in today's session, I've gave you answer of my before 48 hours asked question from the viewers who answered wrongly, and after 48 hours suspense, I gave you answer in the form of the lake, and I gave you a proof as well. And today is the second last session, session 14 of this networking bootcamp, and this is finished today. And we will meet in the last session 15, last session tomorrow, and this bootcamp will be finished. So thank you so much with us. Goodbye, Allah Hafiz.